Let's try this again. Hey, can you check when you get a chance to see if audio's coming out good and everything's
I just saw your last video.
Did it sound good?
I don't know. I saw the thumbnail.
Okay, because I hate to be covering the mic and then it doesn't come out right. I'm still gonna leave the other one up. Alright, I'm back. It was so easy for me to say, I won't do it today, I'm just gonna do it tomorrow. And then it's already would be Wednesday. And then it wouldn't be maybe still doable, but then I'm kind of pushing it because I already ate up my 4 windows, if you watch the previous video, which I'll leave up, you'll see how easy it is to skip a week. And then it's already would be Wednesday, then you just, at that point you just kind of say, well, I'm just gonna wait. Well, I would say, I'll just wait till Friday. And then it's not 52 haircuts, that would be 51. Anyways, so I had to go. Our family member was a little bit, she's a senior, so just to keep it simple and just private, I guess, to the family, she wasn't doing too well, so we went to go see her at the hospital, and it seems that everything's stable at this point, everything's okay, but we did want to run over there, just kind of make sure everything was okay, and it was. So back in here, I wish I could just continue where I left off with the other video, but if you kind of don't know where I was at, I was started here with the intro of 52 haircuts in a year, and then like I said, my wife came home and she told me about our family member, so I just kind of cut everything and I took off. It should be the video right before this one, so I'll just continue. If you're kind of curious where that was at, I won't start all over again. For those of you that did watch that one, then you have to hear the whole spiel on this one, so I'll just continue where I think I left off. So anyways, cover up all the holes on the sink, and do it again because I did uncover it, and I do that just so all the hair doesn't go into the sink, which some probably still does, but at least most of it gets stopped. Gonna make sure I'm live. Yeah. Okay, so what I do is I'll start off by combing my hair. I think that's where I left off. I comb it all in the direction that it kind of normally goes. So kind of sides and back, I go down, and front, I go down. That's just kind of how my hair normally goes and how it's trained. Why I do that, when I cut it, everything's kind of going in the same direction. So if I go opposite, everything gets cut even. You would think it's so short, it doesn't really matter. Been doing this long enough to where it does matter. Now, like I said in my previous video, which was kind of the intro, the idea is not to teach you how to do this. The idea is just to kind of share it with you, and hopefully, I kind of just log it and talk about my week. It's almost like therapy for me because I talk to myself anyway, so might as well record it. So after this, I just kind of start cutting. Oh no, first I kind of line up the back. I start off with that, just to get that part out of the way. Question I would always wonder, or recently I get, is how do you do the back? And the hack that I came up with, typically what I would do is I would just, I have different styles. Like sometimes I taper the back, do a tight taper. But quickness is something that's really important to me. I kind of want to do this quick just so I can move on. I don't want to make it a long thing. So the trick to lining up the back is painter's tape. Kind of walk you through real quick. I do the back side that doesn't have any stickiness. To size it up, I go ear to ear. And I just cut the piece off. I've done this so many times where I kind of know where to put it now, but I just kind of use my pinkies to line it up, and I kind of know where to touch my ears, and I'm touching both sides, so I kind of know exactly where I'm at. And then I just kind of press it lightly. And then I grab my double mirror. I say, notice that, okay, it's a little high. And I'll go a little lower. See if that is where I want it. And that is where I want it. So People would always wonder, like I said, how do you do the back? It's like, well, a lot of trial and error. And then eventually I just came up with the painter's tape idea. And it worked. So then I press it firmly down onto my head. It's painter's tape, so it doesn't hurt when it comes off. I double check, see if it's where I like it. Part of the trial and error, you kind of know what part needs to get adjusted or not. Did I ever think I'd be using painter's tape to cut my hair? No, I just kind of came up with it. So let me do this part and then we'll kind of keep on going. The reason why I start with the back is because my hand is nice and steady, not tired, and it kind of just like, okay, let's do the difficult part first, right? When I got the idea of starting this series, I kind of went through all the pros and cons. One of the things I always, one of the first things that came up with while I was doing this and my thought process is, I'm gonna be live. What if something doesn't go as planned? But then, when does anything go as planned? That's what makes life, that's what seasons life. The fact that it doesn't go 100% as planned. That's what makes it interesting. That's what makes it fun. So then, that's the template. And then you remove it. And voila, there's your straight line. We could go from there. Painter's tape. The reason why I use the 2-inch one, by the way, is they do have the 1-inch one. This gives you a bigger place to land, because it takes a while before you figure out the reverse mirror thing. So if you land up here, you're like, oh, okay, not too high. So if you had the thin tape and you go too high, bam, you could cut up there. So the 2-inch tape works out a little bit better. Once you get real savvy, you can use the 1-inch tape. Why would you want them? Not too sure. I usually have both of my machines plugged in, but today I have my phone plugged in just in case I didn't want to run out of battery while I was doing my first YouTube live 52 haircuts a year. So now I get my bigger machine. I close the clip. I like using the 1 clip and move it up and down a couple times, make sure it's not making any funny noises. And we begin. Where do I start? I'm gonna make sure that, see, I usually lean into the mirror, so I'm gonna make sure I got you guys here. Again, this is the first time I'm doing this, so bear with me. Alright, so here I go. I purposely didn't cut my hair for 2 weeks, knowing that I was gonna do 52 haircuts starting today, or starting this week. So that's why you can tell that there's a big contrast, there's a big change. Like, wow, next week, you're not gonna tell so much. And that's the whole idea. That's something that I enjoyed about doing my 52 haircuts in 2016. Is that because I cut my hair every Friday, every week, I never needed a haircut, quote unquote. I don't know, I mean, me growing up, I remember, hearing that, hey, you need a haircut. In 2016, I never needed a haircut. Why? Because I cut my hair every single Friday. That was just it. I mean, sometimes it was done Monday. Sometimes it was done Friday. But because I had committed, I had wrote it down on my calendar, it got done. I mean, sometimes I was in here at 11 o'clock at night cutting my hair. Sometimes it was, 5, 6 o'clock on Friday. And no pressure there, right? But that was probably the neatest part, is that I always felt that I was well groomed in the cranium cap. My hair was always done up. So I know for a fact that 2016, I kept the calendar. I still have it. I cut my hair 52 times. Am I doing that again this year? Yes. I actually write down the things I need to do. I'm keeping my goals very simple for 2018. In the past, I've done goals that are like very complicated. And I learned in the last couple of years that sometimes that simplicity with consistency reaps big rewards, and you end up doing the little stuff anyways. I noticed that in that year that I had the 52 haircuts, I took care of my skin more. I also made sure that my eyebrows were all nice and groomed and dialed in. I was taking care of my skin as far as like sunblock. That was, that's a major one. So other stuff, and that wasn't even on the goal list. The goal list was just, a haircut every week. So stuff. This year I'm doing that. I'm keeping my goals very simple. One for every pillar: health, wealth, love, and happiness. And one beefy goal for each one, with the plan on how it's going to be obtained and a schedule. And unless something major happens, everything will be accomplished. And then the little things will just kind of happen on its own. So how did this whole haircut thing happen? I've told this story many times. It was getting me to get a haircut when I was a kid haircuts weren't a priority. Anybody who's local here to me, and I live in a small town, a small beautiful town in Southern California. Everybody here that is around my age and older knew the local barber when I was a kid. Everybody knew him. Everybody went to him. I think I'd get a haircut like every 2 months. Maybe every month. That was it. So that'd be like 12 haircuts a year if you were lucky. If I was lucky. And I dreaded the day I had to get a haircut. My mom would tell me, go get a haircut tomorrow. Dang it. There goes my Saturday morning. So it's not like I came from a background of getting your haircut all done up all the time. And then I got I'll fast forward you, still not caring about haircuts. Elementary school, middle school, still not caring about haircuts. Then came high school. Things change in high school. We all wanted to rock the tight fade. That was in. But to go get, and I don't remember what a haircut cost then. Was it like maybe $8, $9? To go get a haircut back then at $8, when you got paid $4.25 an hour for those of us that had a job, 2 hours worth of work for a haircut. No way. So we figured out, shoot, for like $12, $15, we could buy a machine. Or your buddy's older brother had a machine. And that's how it all started. One of our friends, David, if you ever watched this video, that guy could cut hair like no one's business in high school. People would line up to get a haircut from him. And he wouldn't do too many because obviously, he didn't want to spend his Friday night cutting hair when maybe 90%, if not 100% of all the buddies wanted the hookup and wanted a free haircut, so we wouldn't get in. I say we because me and my friend would try to get in, and it just wouldn't happen, you know. And he didn't live so close to me, so I got a few haircuts from him. But I'd pay attention how he'd cut it, and I was like, hey, it's not too difficult. So eventually, I had I asked my brother to buy us a machine, and we'd learn how to cut each other's hair. And then that's when it all started. You know, trial and error, way more errors than trial. Messed up a bunch of times. I mean, I'm sure there's some that I admitted to say, man, that's a nasty haircut I got. And there's others that I'm sure everybody else was thinking, damn, that's a nasty haircut you got, but I thought it was okay. And it just little by little, I got better and better and better. Then my buddy, my friend Gabe, he started wanting hair, or he found out. I can't remember exactly how it was, or actually maybe I wanted to practice on him. He's like, let me cut your hair. He's like, sure. And he saw that I did, I guess, an okay job. I'm assuming that's what it was, because then after that he kept on asking me, hey, can you cut my hair? Hey, can you cut my hair? And we were inseparable. I mean, we always hung out. We went to school together, we worked together. We also hung out on the weekends together. So it was easy for him to like, hey, can you cut my hair? Can you cut my hair? It was a win-win situation. He got haircuts every week or every 2 weeks. I got to practice. And then, you know, during that time, my bro got busy and he grew up, and so I was like, okay, he can't cut my hair. I started practicing on my own. Mastered it pretty quick there, got good there, and yeah, I think I'd have like maybe okay fades. Wasn't too difficult. After that, got a little older and I wasn't so much into cutting my hair, so I was like, maybe I should go find somebody to cut my hair. So I would try different barbers and it just wasn't finding it. I tried salons. One guy did cut my hair where I was like floored. Even my wife was like, oh my goodness, that is the best short haircut you've ever gotten. Guy's name was Yule. He worked at the salon where my wife used to work at. She used to practice her profession. And she told me, you need to come over and let Yule cut your hair because he gets down. And that he did. After he finished my haircut, let's just say it was something like this. He got some shears that were like, oh man, like 14 inches long. And they opened like this. It wasn't your conventional shears. It was like they did one of these and he'd grab them like here. And he said he'd sit there and he's like, dude, what are you cutting? I didn't ask him, but I thought. But he was getting every single tiny hair that was out of place. That was by far the best haircut I've ever gotten in my whole entire life. I've tried to imitate that haircut and I get close, but I guess because I don't have those 14, 16-inch shears, I'll never get that good. So, anyways, I found one place I found one place that was close to my office. It was convenient. You know, I set an appointment and it never really worked, you know, so I just go there and it was a traditional hardcore barbershop. Bunch of guys, 4 dudes that cut hair like nobody's business. I mean, these guys got down. The conversations there were legit too. It was just a bunch of dudes talking smack, sports, smack and more smack. And but I tell you, they were the best haircuts. They were really good, really good. But the thing about it is that they were so sought after and they were so busy on Fridays. Is I'd walk in with the supposed, you know, 1 o'clock appointment or whatever, and then they just say, oh, there's like 3 guys in front of you. I was waiting for an hour before I'd get in the chair, and then, you know, half hour, 40 minute haircut because of all the chitter chatter, especially if the conversation was good with everybody, because everybody participated in the conversation. Haircuts were like a 2.5 hour ordeal. Granted, they were badass haircuts. I mean, I loved it. But what I was doing during this time where I was getting my haircut, I was paying attention with the feel. I mean, I wouldn't face the mirror because he'd control the chair, but when he was cutting my hair, I was feeling how he was placing the shears and what he was doing. So all this technique that I'm doing here, which seems like I'm not cutting anything, but I could hear, I could hear the hairs being cut, so there's still hair being cut. I learned it from sitting in that chair for 2 years, once a week. Then I moved offices. I moved from there to an office that was closer to my house. So now going way over there wasn't as convenient. So then it turned into convenience. It's like, okay, let me give it a shot again. I enjoyed getting my hair cut. I didn't have to clean up the mess. I didn't have to do it. But it was taking up time, which is the most valuablest asset. So then, I got my kit back out, which is the same kit I've been using forever. I said, let's give it a shot again. And that's when I noticed, and I just started like, hey, this is kind of cool, because I could cut my hair at, everybody's asleep. As many times where it's been midnight, 11:30, 12:30. I'm about to jump in the shower, and I just noticed, hey, I need a haircut. I'll just take out my kit. I'll knock it out in 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Most of the time I'm not talking, so I just get, knock it out, and I'm done. So I'm not eating up my afternoon when I could be doing work or spending time with my family or spending time with friends. I could do it at a time that is my time, late at night or early in the morning. I don't think I've ever cut my hair early in the morning, unless you consider 1 a.m. early in the morning. I have cut my hair at 1 a.m. Again, right before bed. So that's kind of the story and how I started cutting my hair. And then after that, it's like I could go find a barber now, but at this point, it's just convenience. I mean, taking a little longer this time because of the intro and chit-chatting a little bit, but 30-35 minutes including the shower, and I could do it at night. No barbers open at this time, so I'll lose a little bit of the quality of the haircut. I know that getting my hair cut by a licensed, badass, experienced barber would be much better than what I do for myself, but he's not open at, what time is it right now? I don't even know. My phone, oh no, it doesn't sound my phone. I'm not saying like maybe 8 o'clock, 8:30. And I really don't want to be at a barber shop at this time. I kind of like being here in my bathroom. And it's just been really convenient to cut my own hair ever since then. I can't get too fancy, although, however, I do change it up every now and again. Like I said, I just do a very straight, short hair with a lineup. But when I got a little bit more time, I'll taper the sides, I'll taper the back. I'm sure I'll do it during this 52 haircuts a year. I'll taper the sides and I'll do a tight taper in the back. So now I'm moving over to my smaller machine just to capture any of the little tiny hairs that I may have missed. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say that the biggest thing is just convenience. I can cut my hair any time of the day. The biggest thing I noticed in 2016, like I said, is I never needed a haircut. And then in 2017, that's what I wanted to say. In 2017, I thought, oh, okay, I don't have to log it down. I'm used to it. They say after you do something so many times, it becomes just instinctual, something that you do. So I figured, okay, I didn't write it down in my goal. I didn't do a calendar in 2017. And the results of me not doing my calendar were very disappointing. because I didn't do all the things I wanted to do. Compared to 2016, I accomplished a lot because I had a calendar. So that was a big benefit, and that's why I definitely wanted to start one in 2018. And this is the only difference, is that I'm gonna vlog it. I'm gonna document it here on the internet because it's fun, and if I ever need to show anybody, hey, look, you can do this. If you set your mind to it and you set a schedule, consistency is what gives you rewards. Consistency reaps rewards. It just is what it is. It's a natural law. That I believe it is, anyways. There's magic in consistency. Again, you're not cutting nothing, right? You'd be surprised. If you were here, you get feel it and hear it, that there is little tiny hairs that are being cut. They said that this was, so I just got back from the hospital. There were so many people there with masks and coughing and a face that was just, a bunch of people had different colored faces and not doing too hot. So I came home and I cleaned my phone. I washed my hands twice. As it was just not a pretty sight. Hats off to all the folks that work there for the right reasons. Alright, let's see. So, getting down to the end here. The back is already edged up because I did the template. So now what I do is I edge up here and I edge up just the hairline just to give it that clean look. Not much, just the little tips, the picos. As my barber said it once. That Whittier guy. That was a badass barbershop. Let me go back if I have 2 hours to spare. So let's see, first week of the year. It was a good start to the week. A good start to the year. Had a meeting with my friend. We talked about what I want to accomplish. It was good stuff. Like I said, I'm doing very minimal amount of gold. But I'm doing consistency. I am doing the calendar. I'll bring in my calendar in here and I'll show you guys. Or go to my Instagram. Same name as my YouTube channel, and I'm sure I'll show my calendar there. One thing I did do this year that I learned through 2016 is that a classic calendar, like a tangible calendar that you can write in with a pen, not a digital calendar, but an actual like old school calendar, like pen and paper. What's that? Is it makes a big difference. Makes a huge difference. And also, what I did is I ordered extra calendars. There's calendars around here. I buy them at the Dollar Tree. But I found out that the Dollar Tree don't carry calendars year round. Makes sense. Why would they? And so I order them and I have them because along the way I could get a little scribbly on there, or I could change some gold, I could add some stuff. Looking at 2016 and kind of reviewing it, I kind of even laugh on what would happen in the past. Like, really? I wanted that? That's another great thing about a calendar, is that you could go back and read it. Some of those goals are silly, and some of them are not. They're still in practice, and other ones are like, oh wow, That's pretty cool how I wrote that down and it happened. And others still don't, it takes a little longer. So I was telling my friend, like, hey, I'm going to start a series called 52 Haircuts. I have no idea why or what I'm going to talk about. Like, even this one is like, does anybody really care why I cut my own hair? It's kind of like an intro, right? He said, how cool. Okay, if you, that's 2 people. Well, my daughter thought it was cool. She's also on here on Instagram and YouTube, and so is my son. They both thought it was a good idea. So let's see. Hopefully it doesn't get boring for you guys. Definitely not going to get boring for me. I got to do it anyways. I'm going to do it anyways. So I'll just bring you along for the ride if you want to ride. So I comb it down one last time. And then I run the detailed one slowly. And I'm listening. And that's kind of as I'm talking, but you can hear it. You can hear if it's cutting. If it's cutting, that means you did miss some hairs. If it's not cutting, that means you're done. If anybody ever watches this, I'll be surprised, for 1. But 2, if you have any questions or like, hey, I saw this on your Instagram, or DM me on my Instagram, or leave it here below, or whatever. Like, talk about this, or talk about that, or how did you do this, or why do you do that, or you missed the spot, just kidding, or something. And then that'll give me material to talk about. What I'll probably end up talking about, if nobody ever checks in, is just kind of how my week went, what I got going on, what I'm doing, how my, the progress I'm making with my day-to-day stuff, with work, and the clothing I put up. As you probably know already, if you follow my Instagram and you follow my YouTube channel, I do clothing showcases here. I sell clothing, vintage and modern day clothing, athletic apparel, and also Hawaiian clothes. I have a lot of tiki clothes. Athletic apparel, I mean like team apparel, like a lot of your collegiate shirts, as well as like your professional sporting teams shirts, baseball, football, modern day ones, and also I come across a lot of vintage, unique pieces that you don't see out there much. So, and I'll have stories. I'll have stories of kind of what happens while I'm out there sourcing and wholesaling, and people I meet and conversations. So I'm sure we'll do that. I also have a great relationship with my family. I'm blessed with 2 kids who are very fun, and like I said, they're also on the internet quite a bit. They blog, and they're active on Instagram, Snapchat, and all that. So I have great meetings and conversations with them about work. My son works with me too, so we have a lot of cool conversations. So I'll talk about that, raising kids that are entrepreneurs and, into social media. Sometimes you gotta wear like a different hat when I'm talking to them, They're good stuff. So we can talk about that a little bit, different instances that I have with them. And then of course I also have a great relationship with my wife, and she's also my partner. And we have a lot of stuff that we go through, great stuff. So I'll do one more pass through. I can hear it. It seems like I'm not doing nothing, but I can hear still little scrapes. That means there's still hair there. I could easily stop, But if I hear too much scrapes back here, that means there's, mainly in the back because of the bed head. So you gotta make sure I pick up every little hair back there. Today it was raining in California, Southern California. It was nice. It's nice to see the rain. I posted myself, I did a quick video on Instagram going to the post office yesterday, I think it was. Yeah, it was yesterday. Taking the packages in a big plastic bag to the post office. And what I could imagine is just all the palm trees that are way up high, getting washed by the rain. That's why when spring and summer roll around, when you look up, those trees look so vibrant, so green, so beautiful, because they got washed, right? All the old leaves that finished their cycle, finished their time on this planet, through the grace of autumn, they fell, they were done. So now nature washes everything, kind of like with the big hose, which is rain, which makes the way for the new seasons. Shout out Jim Rohn, the seasons of life. Life is like the changing seasons. So now everything's washed and you get these new leaves. So now we get the opportunity to live another spring. We get to see all this newness and cleanness. When summer comes and you get the nice long days and the bright light, the sunlight. More so here in Southern California. Weather's beast. And I took the packages out. So today it rained. I was out actually in looking for some merchandise and kind of making it happen. I found this awesome, huge American flag. I have one listed right now. It's a 3x5. I clearly think this is like a maybe 5x10 or something close to that. I may keep this one. I'm sure once my wife hears me say that, she'll say, no, you're not. And I'm like, okay. But it's huge. It's embroidered, stitched, heavy duty. So if anybody's looking for a huge American flag, it's coming up. I got a lot of cool other stuff, but I think the thing that stands out the most, oh, some Justin boots too. Justice boots. Those are cool too. Yeah, but it was raining. It was cold out. The driving out there, hats off to people who drive to work every day and have to commute far every day. Oh, man. Driving ever so carefully. But you gotta do it. Gotta get on the road. You can't stay in one spot. Well, it looks like I'm done, or I should say, sounds like I'm done. Let's see, I already did the cleanup. While I'm here, I'll take care of this too, since I'm gonna, maybe during the week I'll knock it down. I don't usually have facial hair. It gets itchy, I get frustrated with it. But I don't know. This week I left it, and it just kind of happened. If I had full facial hair, man, I always envied my friend Gabe. He had full face. Well, two of my friends, Jim, well, three. Now I think about it, most of my friends. But the one I always used to envy more because I used to cut his hair was my buddy Gabe. He had a beard since maybe 7th grade. And he could get a clean lineup. I mean, he could go like all dialed in like that. This takes me like, I don't know, a week and a half to grow. Now this is coming from the same guy that says, you're lucky, bro, you don't have to shave. I heard that plenty of times growing up with him. Well, I would say, man, you're lucky, you have facial hair. The grass is always greener, so they say. They also say, well, probably because they take care of the grass better. on the other side of the fence. I don't think Jim Rose has that one. Alright, looks like that's all dialed in. So there you have it. Volume 1, week 1 of 52 haircuts is all done. What I do at this point is just, oh, I do have, this was one of the trick of my trade here. I have a little tiny broom here with the dustpan. I clean everything up. I put my tools away, put it back in the bag. Maybe one day I'll do kind of like a roll call and show you the tools that I use. Well, I kind of showed in the previous video, the intro that I had to cut. Sorry about that. My 2 clippers, and then I have a mirror and a brush. But like I said, maybe I'll do like another clip, video clip there showing exactly what I have. Didn't want to bore you with that. But after this point, like I said, I sweep up all the hair. I put all my stuff away. I clean the counters real good. I pick everything up, sweep the floor, and ever so convenient, the shower is just right there. So I jump in, take a shower, and there you go. And I come back next week and do it again. So week 1, 51 haircuts to go before 2018 is over. Thanks for watching the first installment of hashtag 52 haircuts in a year. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Mr. Albert Lopez. Talk to you guys later. Bye.